Louie Gohmert's at it again. Gohmert's one of my favorite representatives. He's a goofball from Texas, and he has the wackiest theories in all of Congress. He's so wacky that people don't even take him seriously. They're like, oh, there goes Gohmert again, and he did it again this time. Listen to this insane theory about the president. That is clip number 3.
I know the president made the mistake one day of saying he had visited all 57 states. And I'm well aware that there are not 57 states in this country, although there are 57 members of OIC, the Islamic states in the world. Perhaps there was some confusion whether he'd been to all 57 Islamic states as opposed to all 50 U.S. states. But nonetheless, we have an obligation to the 50 American states, not the 57 Muslim Islamic states. Our oath we took is in this body, in this house, and it's to the people of America, and it's not to the Muslim Brotherhood, who may very well take over Egypt, and once they do, they are bent upon setting up a caliphate around the world, including the United States, and this administration will have been complicit in helping people who wants to destroy our country.
You know, President Obama has a funny way of being complicit with the Muslims trying to destroy our country, like Al-Qaeda, like Osama bin Laden. How'd that work out for bin Laden? But no, Gohmert's got a conspiracy theory. He's like, remember when he said 57 states? By the way, that was in reference to about 57 primary contests that he was involved in at the time, because there are more primaries like in Puerto Rico, etc., than there are states. But of course, the Republicans are like, oh my God, a Democrat got something wrong for the first time. It's always us who get something wrong. Let's jump on it, right? So, but Gohmert thinks that that has to do with some sort of 57 Islamic states. I don't even know if that's the right number. But can you imagine? Obama's running for president. He's a black man with the name Barack Obama. And he thinks a winning strategy is to be like, let me mention the 57 states. And that will trigger all of the Muslims in the country who are ready to participate in this plot to vote for me. Under what are you talking about? No, seriously? You have to be a lunatic to think that Obama was referring to the 57 Islamic states and that was some sort of Muslim conspiracy that Obama's involved in to destroy this country. Now, if I was saying it to you and you didn't just see it, even I would think, oh, come on, he didn't just say it. He did. You heard him say there's going to be an Islamic caliphate. It's going to include the United States, and that Obama is complicit in helping the Muslim Brotherhood achieve that. I mean, grade A psychotic man who is a United States congressman from Texas. Everybody from his district should be eternally embarrassed to have this guy represent you in Congress. All right, and by the way, it's not the first time Gohmert's done it. Gohmert's done this 100 times. He talked about terror babies. He said there's a plot for Muslims to come into the country and hatch their babies, and that they would then be trained as terrorists, and then eventually, I don't know how many years later, 19 years later, 38 years later, go supplies and blow themselves up. When the FBI was asked about this, they said it was ludicrous, that there is no evidence of that. Gohmert was on CNN. Anderson Cooper asked him, what evidence do you have of this terror baby plot? He said, I'm Gohmert. I don't know. Evidence? What's that? Of course he doesn't have any evidence. The guy's a moron. Okay, and then it's not just Muslims he hates. He's got all these different theories about Asians as well. He says, but we are even in different times now. We're still borrowing money from the Chinese. And once again, the irony here is incredible. We are going to borrow more money from the Chinese to possibly give them money back to create habitats for wild dogs and cats that are rare. There is no assurance that if we did that, we wouldn't end up with Mugu Dog Pan or Mugu Cat Pan. There is no way to assure that money will not be wasted when it's sent to foreign countries. So, if we send money to any foreign country, of course outside of Israel, and it somehow goes to China at some point, well, instead of actually protecting dogs and cats, obviously they're going to serve them up for dinner. A little culturally insensitive? But, I mean, look, if one of the talk show hosts said it, they do this all the time. I wouldn't even bother, right? Again, the guy's a United States congressman. It's got to be a point where you get embarrassed.